is a version of Cinderella from Portugal where the fairy godmother character is a fish and where Cinderella ends up with the fish, not the king who's trying to try the shoe on her. And it's called The Magic Fish. There's a widower who has 3 daughters, and the older 2 only care about finery and dresses and going to plays and entertainment, but the youngest occupied herself with household management and was fond of assisting the servants in the kitchen. So because of that, the older sisters make fun of her. They call her the hearth cat. Interestingly, though, it's just because she likes that stuff and wants to do it. No one's forcing her to or abusing her in this version. One day, the dad brings home this really beautiful fish and tells her to cook it for dinner, but it's so pretty she doesn't want to. The only description we get is that it's yellow, and so the dad's like, okay, you can keep it as a pet instead of cooking it. So she keeps it in her room. Her sisters are mad just because they want to eat the fish. They're like, that fish looks yummy, but the dad's like, no, I said she can have it as a pet, and she can. One day at night, when the maiden lays down to sleep, the fish starts talking, and it says, Maiden, please, please, throw me in the well, throw me in the well. And so finally she agrees, and the fish starts to live in the well instead, and she comes to visit it sometimes. They're friends. But one day the fish starts saying, Maiden, come into the well with me, come into the well. And that freaks her out and she kind of stays away for a while. Well, then one night when her sisters go to a festival, and it's not like they won't let her go, she just doesn't want to go. She goes to visit the fish, and this time when it starts saying, come in, she feels compelled to. Very kind of like Phantom of the Opera. Except this fish is good, he's not a serial killer. She gives the fish her hand and he leads her down into the well, and it's this beautiful palace of gold and precious stones. There's also a beautiful gold dress and a ton of gold slippers, and the fish is like, I want you to get dressed up and go to that festival. You deserve to have some fun. You come up out of the well, there's gonna be a beautiful golden carriage waiting to take you. And she's like, okay, I will go do that. The fish says, before your sisters get back though, you need to come back here and change back into your old clothes. I can't tell you why, but it's gonna make you happy. So like every Cinderella, she goes to the ball in the beautiful carriage and the beautiful clothes, and everyone is like, who is that beautiful girl? The king is also there, and he's like, oh my gosh, this woman is breathtaking. But when it's time to go, she has to hurry away, and she accidentally leaves behind one of her slippers. And he finds it in traditional fashion and says, I'm gonna marry the woman who fits this shoe. Our girl goes back down into the well, gives the fish back her clothes, and the fish is like, okay, go home and act like everything's normal, but then come back tonight. I've got something real important I want to ask you. She goes back and talks to her sisters, pretends like she wasn't there, and listens to them talk about this really pretty girl that they thought maybe looked familiar, but they're not sure. Then they're like, whoever she is, she left her shoe, and the king's gonna marry whoever fits it. So tomorrow we're gonna go try it on, and if it fits one of us and we become queen, we'll buy you a new dress, Hearth Cat. Our girl listens and she's like, okay, and then she goes back down into the well. And when she comes to meet the fish says, hey, will you marry me? At first she's like, I don't know, you're a fish, that's pretty non-traditional. He urged his suit so ardently that at last she consented. And in that moment, when she agrees to marry him, the fish transforms into a handsome human man. He's like, okay, I'm actually the prince, the son of the king who is looking for you, who fell in love with you and wants you to try the shoe on. I got enchanted to be here. He doesn't know where I am. I've just been missing for a long time. You agreeing to marry me broke the spell, set me free, so here's how we're gonna tell my dad about it. You just go try on the slipper, and when he says, all right, I'm gonna marry you, say, nope, sorry, I'm already engaged to your son. So our girl goes to the palace, and she's so shabbily dressed that the guards at first won't let her pass, but then finally no one else has been able to fit into the slipper, so they let her pass. She tries on the slipper, and the king is like, it's you, I'm gonna make you queen. But she respectfully told him, no, I'm already engaged to your son, the prince. The king, on hearing this, could scarcely contain his delight to think he would get to see his son again. He immediately sends a retinue to bring his son out of the well and bring him back with great rejoicing. He and our girl get married, and the sisters were filled with jealousy and bitterness. They commenced to throw all manner of filth out of their mouths at their sister, but she remained in the palace as the bride of the prince, and he eventually succeeded the throne and became the king. The story is truly unique, how it combines the animal as bridegroom motif, the sort of Beauty and the Beast agreeing to marry an animal and turns out to be a handsome prince, with the Cinderella motifs going on. And I love that. I love that she ends up with someone who she trusted and loved and took care of, and who loved her instead of some random dude who thought she was pretty at a ball and really liked how small her feet were. And I hope that she continues to be able to do household management as the queen, and if she wants to go get dirty in the kitchen, everyone's cool with it. With the respect that her new husband seems to have for her, I bet he will be. For a fairy tale reimagining with even more respect and consent and romance, check out my book and, of course, my podcast. Both links are in the bio.